This episode is brought to you by Manscaped.com, the global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Manscaped just hooked me up with a bunch of stuff. The Perfect Package 4.0. The trimmer is waterproof. You get 90 minutes. You put it on the charger. Turn it on. Plus, you get free boxer, free bag, and you get the t-shirt that I got on right now. Plus, you get the liquids to keep you fresh to death. All you gotta do is go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code Can't Wait 20. You get 20% off, plus free shipping, plus 2 free gifts at manscaped.com. Plus, you get a newspaper. We say balls. So all you gotta do to get 20% off is go to manscaped.com, plus free shipping, plus 2 free gifts, and use the promo code Can't Wait 20. Welcome to another episode coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com, offer of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. So this is a question that I usually get a lot, and a lot of guys have experienced this. Long-time subscriber said, hey, he said in the beginning, everything was all good. You know, the sex was good. They was having fun. With the woman is his wife now. In the beginning, you know, she was very cooperative, full cooperation. She would do almost anything, cook, clean. She would support him. But he said after about 2, 3, 4 years, seems like she's just not motivated no more. She doesn't don't look sexy no more, don't wear lingerie no more, especially after they had 2 kids. And he said she picked up about 60 pounds after the second kid, and now he ain't attracted to her. I mean, I'm not laughing at him, but this is something that happens. It's quite common, and I'm gonna explain why. And so he said, what's my take on why this happened to him? And not only did it happen to him, he's learned that it's happened to other guys in his circle, or at least other guys that he know. You know, I don't know if these guys are at work or he's friends with these guys, but he said since he's had this experience with his wife, you know, he met other guys, started talking to other guys, and they had the same or very similar experience. So, look, a lot of guys not gonna like this, what I'm about to say. But the reason why your woman started behaving like she did after 2, 4, 5, 7, 10 years later is because she just wasn't built for marriage. She were unfit. What it is a lot of women tried to fit into this box that maybe her parents put her in that box, her mother, or maybe she tried to live up to your standard. But that's not really who she is. She ain't built for it. And what usually happens is a lot of women, the highlight is just to get married. It's not to stay married. See, a lot of women, you know, I'm gonna say most women dreamed about being married as a little girl when they were looking at those Disney movies and shows. They're dreaming about it. They saw other people getting married when they were young, when they were a little girl, and they wanted to be like that too. They wanted to put on a nice white dress, and you know it's pure and everything, right? That's what they say. But the woman that's wearing it ain't pure. You know what I'm saying? So they dream about this all their lives. So the marriage, the wedding is like a party. A lot of these women. But here's the thing that a lot of women don't ask. Who do I have to become to be in that position? And what do I have to do to stay in that position? See, that's the part that a lot of women miss out. They miss out on that part. They don't even think about that part. They just get caught up in the wedding and all the parties and the drinking and the smoking and whatever they do and engage in all these festivities or whatever. You know? And a lot of guys, I gotta get on my guys too. A lot of my guys do themselves a disservice because they think that these women are supposed to be like their moms. They want a woman that's on the level of their mom. And look, these women today are not like your mom, and they're not like your grandma. I hate to break it to you. And see, a lot of guys do themselves a disservice to themselves, and they do a disservice to the woman, because that woman that you were married to or thinking about getting married to, she can't live up to your mom's standards or your grandma's standards. She can't do it. It's impossible. You know, now she might have some traits, habits of your mom's or your grandma, and that's cool. But to hold your wife to the standards of the women that came before you, nah, you're doing yourself a disservice, my man. It's in her. She can't live up to all that. She can't, because she wasn't raised that way. She ain't built that way. You know, look, I use myself as an example. My parents were older than most people's parents when I was born. My dad was born in 1925 and my mom was born in 1933. So my parents were born in slavery, Jim Crow, South Carolina. My parents born in slavery and raised through slavery, through Jim Crow, and they survived all that shit. I got enough sense to know that I'm not like my dad. I ain't built like that. Now, some of how they grew up were instilled in me, of course. But I ain't built like that. I got enough sense to know that. Look, my dad was married twice. The first wife left him with 6 kids. And the first wife he got married to, she came into marriage with 2 kids. And they had 4. And she left him with 6 kids and he had to raise them. I don't know if I would be able to do that. Back then, this is in the 50s, the heart of slavery. Jim Crow. Woo, man. You know, that's a different type of man back then. Man. And then he met my mom and got married to her in the 70s. Come on, man. I don't know if I'd be able to survive as a single parent with 6 kids in the 50s and 60s. Come on, man. I ain't that type of guy like that. I'm not going to walk around here and fool myself and act like I'm that dude like my dad. No, I'm not even half of what my dad was or half of what my mother was at this point in my life. If I could be half of both of them, I'd be happy with that. You know? So this is what I mean when I say you're doing a disservice to yourself and the women that you're meeting, or the one that you're going to, I guess, get married to if you want to. She can't live up to all that, you know, because she wasn't built for that. And a lot of women, you know, once they start having kids, they're not really thinking about being sexy for you. They thinking about, I got to take care of these kids. And, you know, by the time you come home, or by the time she come home, if she's working, she's tired. Then she got to cook. Then she got to clean. Then you got to help the kids with the homework. She wore out. She ain't thinking about getting no sexy and all of that, you know. And then and then a lot of women are miserable when they're married, and that has to do with the partly because of the weight gain. That has a lot to do with them gaining weight because they're miserable. So they just eat, sleep, you know, and wake up the next day and do the same shit over again. So they get caught on that hamster wheel, and everything becomes routine, and they don't have time. They feel like they don't really have time to do anything extra. The free time that they have is spent with the kids and not with you. And then it becomes where you get to a point where you're gonna still pay the bills, or most of the bills anyway, and she ain't motivated to do nothing because you ain't going nowhere and the kids ain't going nowhere, and we're obligated to take care of the kids. We brought them in this world. So a lot of women are kind of looking at it like, what are you complaining for? I had your kids, I had your babies. This is what you wanted. You know, I wanted a family and you wanted a family, and this is what we got. So we got to take care of these kids. So a lot of women feel like, hey, she got to put her needs to the side, just like you got to put your needs to the side. A lot of these women look at it like that, you know. So a lot of women get caught on that hamster wheel, and they become miserable. And this is what, when you start seeing the weight gain, and she ain't really motivated to do anything because you gave her everything already. You gave her everything she wanted. All she probably wanted was to get married and have kids and become a mother and raise kids and have a house. You gave her everything. So she's not really motivated to do anything extra or to make time to do anything because you gave her everything. There's nothing else left between you and her. This is why when a woman divorces a guy, all of a sudden she's motivated to lose weight now and look good and she started putting on makeup now because she's doing that because she's campaigning for the next guy, wherever the next guy may be. The next guy could be at work, or it could be through a friend of a friend. So that's where the motivation comes from, the next new thing. But if you've been around her for 5, 10, 15 years, what else is new? You gave her everything already. Maybe you gave too fast. Maybe she feels like she don't have nothing else to learn from you. You know? So this is why I always say anything that happens too fast is probably not good. You know, this is the mind of a woman. This is the mind of the average woman out here. You know, the mind of the average woman out here, like I said, they're not like your mom or your grandma. They're not really thinking about they're not really thinking about the kids like that, to be honest. Today, they're really thinking about themselves and their lifestyle. This is why a woman will divorce a guy and she'll say, well, I'm bored, or, you know, I'm not happy. So you're divorcing a guy just because you're not happy for what, 3 months, 6 months? And the dude probably didn't do anything wrong. He probably done everything right except for caring for her emotional needs. And some other guy will come along and take care of her emotional needs, and all of a sudden she wants a divorce because of one night with another guy, that's grounds for a divorce. So this is the psyche of the average woman out here. You know, now do I agree with it? No, I don't agree with it, but you got to look at things for what it is. This is why I always say, the best thing I ever done is understood female nature, and nothing really changed for me until I understood human nature. And this is one reason why I don't really get caught off guard today. I don't make a lot of mistakes today like I used to. I made all those the mistakes that a lot of guys are making today. I made those when I was in my 20s and early 30s. You know, when I hit 30s, I wasn't really making a whole lot of mistakes. But in my 20s, oh man, I made mistakes. In my 20s, I think I made every mistake humanly possible known to man. You name it, I've done it. I had to get attorneys to make shit go away. You know, I paid the cost to be the boss when I was in the 20s and early 30s. You know, I never went to jail, but I've been pretty close. You know, I never got into anything that I couldn't get out of. You know, but once I understood human nature and female nature, I was like, oh, okay, I got this now. I think I understand, you know, these little concepts, you know, and the older you get, the more experience you get, the better off you get, and the better your relationships will become, you know. So you have to understand, a lot of women, the highlight of their life is the wedding and to have kids and be a mother. But they never think about who do they have to become to be in that position, and what do I have to do to stay in that position? They never think about that. So this is why I say a lot of women they're just not built for marriage. They're built for fun. A lot of women built for fun. Most women are built for fun. You know, some guys have said she belonged to the streets, but that's whatever, you know, but that's just how it is. Every woman is not built for long-term relationships. You know, some women are just good for fun. They're good to hang out, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is why it takes time to get to know women. You got to see them. You got to see both sides. You got to see them when things are going well, and you got to see them when things are not going so well. And you got to see them outside of their normal comfort zone, out of their cushy environment that they might be in. And you got to see them when they're upset or when they stress. How do they act? How do they respond? You got to see all of that. See, it's all good when things are going well. But how do they handle adversity or some type of struggle? Or maybe somebody dies that she's close to. Or maybe someone dies that you're close to. How does she handles that? Is she supportive, or she's very nonchalant? You don't know what to say, don't know what to do. You know, see, a lot of women don't have certain skill sets. They don't have it because they weren't raised. You know, they don't know. I know some women, man, they don't know what, if something happens within their family, the husband's family, or maybe something happened to the husband. The wife doesn't know what to say, don't know what to do. But she don't have the skill set. See, there's a lot of people that have bad social skills out here. And you can see it online. It's like some people leave certain comments below my videos. And based on their comment, I can tell if they have bad social skills. Because they be acting all silly and goofy. It's how people respond says a lot about them, about their way of thinking. You know? So, like, share this video, share this episode. Tell me what you think below. If you need any more help, go to SharpGameAtl. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Cycles of life is all around. For cycles of life is all around. For cycles of life.